Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka The Weather Gamer, bringing you APA Academy Season 3 Draft Recap for your Chicago Corviknights. I will be doing something here at the end of the video, so please stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to show off the team. And what do I mean by that? So, I am going the unconventional route. I'm not genning. I will not be genning. I have made that perfectly clear. I'm using mons that I have caught and raised over my 16-year career in Pokemon. I will be using them. The only mon that I will be genning is my Gigantamax, and the reason for that is because I have yet to catch this mon in Gigantamax form. Otherwise, I will be using all mons that I have caught, raised, trained, and bred, and taken through championships upon championship, and I'll show at the end here, so... I was in Draft Pool 1, Team 10, or Team number 8. By the way, this is the second time we've drafted. The first time we drafted, I drafted a Rain team consisting of Pelipper, Barraskewda, Dracozolt, Gmax Charizard, and Mamoswine and a bunch of other mons. But we had to redraft because of Post-Home, or Home coming out. So we changed it up and redrafted. And I lost my team, and I lost Gmax Charizard because they banned Gmax Charizard. Gigantamax mons must hold a Pokeball, and only a Pokeball. They cannot hold any other item either. So, those are kind of the rules for this. It is Wi-Fi League. First ever Wi-Fi. This is APA's D-League, essentially, that I'm playing in. So, but 8th pick. I was hoping Gmax Melmetal would make it back, or not, yeah, Gmax Melmetal would make it to me, it didn't. I was hoping Melmetal would make it to me, it didn't. I was hoping Corviknight would make it to me on the wheel, it didn't, so I ended up losing Corviknight. Gmax Corviknight also went. I got beat down on my Steel type. So then, as I was looking through the teams, I wasn't going to go Rain again. I didn't want to be Rain. A second time, I wanted to try a different type of play style. So I ended up... Oh, cursor's on the screen. Whoops. Let me just select into that so I can move. I drafted Hydreigon. Hydreigon is a monster in Galar decks with the ability to Dragon Dance and Nasty Plot. It can be super physically offensive in a D-Dance sweeper set. It can be a special sweeper set with Nasty Plot. It does have Defog and Roost back now that we're post-home. It's just a hard-hitting mon. It really is. Dragon and Dark Stab are two amazing stabs. Base 98 speed stat, so 1 or 2 points below that ideal, like, perfect balance base 100. Great coverage. It has Fire Blast. It has Flash Cannon. It has... on the physical side, it has Thunder Fang, Fire Fang. It gets Head Smash on the physical side. It's just all around a very good mon. Levitate's great for protecting against ground type hits. It's a good mon. It's a nice mon to pair with. Now, as I said, I got beat down on my Steel types very hard. Corviknights both came off the board. Melmetals both came off the board. I was very big sad because all the Steel typings that I was looking at had come off. Rillaboom came off at some point in the first 3 rounds. A lot of what I was planning kind of got jumbled up. I was gonna run with a terrain team, a terrain offensive team, and it just didn't work out. So I went for plan number 2, and I know I'm going to catch hell for this pick because this mon now has regained the #1 spot for most drafted mon in my league career history. And yes, those of you that have been watching forever, I drafted Alolan Ninetales again. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just having fun here. Leave me alone. No, I drafted Alolan Ninetales, and the reason for that is I want to go with a Veil offensive team. This gives me my Fairy type. I could have gone Gmax Lapras, but I didn't want to go Gmax Lapras. I had other ideas planned out. So Alolan Ninetales is a very good mon. I love it. I've used it. This will be 8th time I've used it in Draft League out of, I think, 23 attempts. So 1 out of 3 leagues I've used Alolan Ninetales. It's been a while. It's been about 6 months since I used Alolan Ninetales, but it's another nasty plot user. It does have Aurora Veil, which is really nice because the Veil offensive situation, I need Veil for that. Moonblast, Freeze Dry for bulky waters, Mr. Vish. If I can stay ahead of Mr. Vish's speed, I can Freeze Dry that thing into Oblivion. Obviously, Hail is good chip for breaking sashes, Blizzard, Spam. It's a good mon. I think it's a really cool mon. I'm hoping to do well with it here in my first Wi-Fi take, because I did very well with it in my first Showdown League ever. So that thing helped. What did that thing help with? It helped me get set up behind a couple of things. It helped a couple things get set up behind it, so I'm looking forward to Ninetales with Hydreigon. It's a very nice start to my Fairy Steel Dragon core. And yeah, but again, Steel types got sniped off the board. I think Vaporeon came off the board by round 3. I was starting to get a little scared about what was going to happen if I got a Bulky Water and all that. So I said, okay, Bulky Water is next, but I have to get a Steel type, and G-Maxes were flying off the board, and here is G-Max Caparaja. I hate this thing's design. I really do. I don't care for the design at all. I think standard Caparaja is so much better. This is the mon that I have to gen, unfortunately, because I have yet to catch a G-Max Caparaja. However, if you have a G-Max Caparaja raid, let me know. I would love to participate in that because it gives me a chance at actually using my own G-Max Caparaja. Anyways, I don't know. It's a nice tanky Steel type. It's actually sneakily good on the Spadef side too. It's 69 base Spadef. Massive attack stat, massive HP, decent defense stat. G-Max Caparaja is nice because of the fact that it is the only mon that can set Steel Spikes, or Steel Rocks, whatever they're called, which is basically a new entry hazard that's super effective to Fairy types and Rock type and Ice type. This thing also gets Stealth Rocks, so I have 2 forms of setting hazards, Stealth Rocks and Steel Spikes, as long as I G-Max and use an Iron or a Steel type move, Iron Head being an example, Heavy Slam, all that. Which is really, really nice. This thing does have some very good coverage. It gets Earthquake, Stone Edge, Body Press. It does have Heat Crash for being heavy and beating down opposing Steel types as well. Those Steel Spikes are really, really nice because I can set them up and Fairy types trying to come in on Hydreigon will get chipped down, similar to how Stealth Rocks work. So, very, very excited, very, very happy to have that hazard, just not happy that it came off of G-Max Caparaja. I would so rather have G-Max Corviknight as my Steel type, but you take what you take. So, like I mentioned, with round 3 going into round 4, I was worried about the bulky water situation as well as getting a decent water type because of how much had flown off the board at this point. And I decided to go with a water type I've never tried before, but it's on my list of mons to try. And I drafted Milotic. Milotic is really, really nice because it is stupidly Spadef. And also gets Mirror Coat. It can be very stupidly defensive with Marvel Scale, Flame Orb sets. Just avoid those Toxics. It gets Recover, it can it basically is a very stally water type. However, if I'm playing a team that likes to use Sticky Webs, or has a good Intimidator like an Arcanine, or something like that, oh, hey, about that, I'm just going to bring Milotic in. It's going to be competitive, and I'm going to get you with an offensive Milotic, because people won't expect that. I do plan to bring offensive Milotic if I can at some point this season if I get a good matchup, but it's a very thick, bulky water type. It can be very stally, potentially taking people to timer if need be. I don't want to take someone to timer, but if Milotic will take somebody to timer, then I will take somebody to timer with Milotic. Very, 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 very not my sort of cup of tea, but, you know, late season playoffs on the line, I'll take someone to timer if I have to. Then we go Gengar. So I was talking to Panther. He helped me draft this team quite a bit. I was like, well, Poltegeist is still there. That thing's kind of busted, because it is. He's like, there's no pursuit. Ghost types are going to go nuts anyways, so look at this. I was debating about Dracovish at this point. I was like, I could draft Dracovish. It was still around in round 5, which was really surprising. Yeah, it was. So I was like, I could take Mr. Vish. It'd be cool. It would not fit my team at all. And he's like, no, go look at the other tier 1s and see what's available. I said, Gengar's still there. Take Gengar. It's Nasty Plot. Okay. So another Mon that's going to set up behind Veil. The Gengar just hits like a truck, especially once it gets Nasty Plot. It's got good coverage. I mean, you want to bring a Dark type in. If I hit the Focus Blast, you're kind of screwed. You want to bring a bulky water, Spadef bulky water in, I'll T-bolt you. You want to bring in a fighting type, I'll Psychic you. I've got Sludge Wave, Shadow Ball. I mean, it's just a very, very annoying Mon. Very, very offensive. But it is literally the definition of Glass Cannon. And with Nasty Plot, Glass Bazooka. So we'll see how it goes. I've used Gengar one other time, and I wasn't super impressed by it, but that was early career, so, you know, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I picked up Gengar here. The next Mon we picked up was Orbeetle. So, Rabombi came off the board. Galvantula was gone. Araquanid was gone. Panther and I were both like, well, we need to take our Weber now before we jump into the tier 3s because you're going to be out of Webers. Originally, when I first started playing Sword and Shield, I looked at Orbeetle and I said, this Mon is hot garbage. It's terrible. I hate its design. Its G-Max looks stupid. Its Shiny's really cool, but I did not care for Orbeetle. I was wrong. I have learned that Orbeetle is a very good Mon. I have watched Wolfie and Joey use it very, very effectively, and I'm very, very excited to use Orbeetle now. It is a monstrous defensive wall. 120 Spadef, 110 standard defense, sneakily fast because it's base 90 speed, so it can catch people. The Bug Psychic typing is nice. Again, knockoff is kind of an issue, but I do have plans for dealing with that. But more importantly, Orbeetle gives me Sticky Web. Hydreigon and Gengar under Sticky Web with Veil support, it's just a nightmare. And then I have Hazards from Kaparaja to help me. It's becoming a very well-balanced team. I have 2 huge walls to pair with this thing, and if everything gets set up correctly, either Gengar or Hydreigon can clean up. And actually, Orbeetle does have the ability to run Calm Mind Iron Defense and get stored powered, so if my opponent does not have a Dark type, first off, Gengar is just going to run up on him, but Orbeetle could potentially store Power Sweep as well. Plus it gets Recovery and Recover, so Orbeetle is a very, very sneakily good Mon that I cannot wait to use, and I dragged my cursor on screen, and I'm sorry about that. Up next is Passimian. Okay, so that knockoff problem. I have a Passimian. The other thing about Passimian that is really, really nice is it basically says, nah, you're not taking my Sticky Webs away or you're going to get punished, because, or an Intimidator or Defog is the main thing with the webs there, because I have Gengar to spin block. Passimian has Defiant, and Defiant is really, really nice in taking away Defog, because, or setting counter Sticky Webs, because if I'm Scarfed, now I'm at +1 attack, or I got the attack boost and my speed didn't go down at all. Or if I am Heavy Duty Boots on a Defog situation, then I avoid the Sticky Web as well. No, but Pissimian's actually really kind of cool with that Defiant ability. It's going to be a massive fighting type that just hits super hard. And basically will support taking out the Dark type for Gengar. Doesn't really help the Fairy type issue, but there's a GMAX Caparajah, so that can deal with it. It does have U-turn, which is a nice pivot. Orbeetle can pivot. Hydreigon can pivot, which allows me to keep momentum on my side of the field, which is also another thing that a lot of people know that I love to do. Up next is the big boy Rhyperior. Yes, I got Rhyperior. A lot of people have seen me draft this thing a lot, mainly APA, Galar decks. It's just a good mon. It hits like a truck. It's extremely bulky. In Galar decks, it's one of the premier ground and rock types, in my opinion. It gives me Stealth Rocks. It gives me another physically defensive mon to give me 2 physical walls and 2 special walls. Orbeetle doesn't have to run defensive now. It's got great coverage. It's another Stealth Rocker. And it really is just a tank. It is a tanky mon. Orbeetle takes the grass hits. Milotic takes the water hits. Like, it's tanky. And I love it. And it's going to help me put in some work, I hope. And take out Steel types that Hydreigon and A-Tails have a little bit of issue with. But, this should help mitigate that. So, but yeah, very, very glad to have Rhyperior on the team. After that, I needed hazard removal because Hydreigon doesn't want to defog, and I had nothing besides Hydreigon for hazard removal. I grabbed Eldergoss. Eldergoss is just stupidly bulky. It's very annoyingly bulky with regen seeds. It does get rapid spin, so I can spin hazards away with heavy-duty boot sets. There's also Cotton Guard, or Cotton Down, sorry. So if my opponent makes contact with me, I drop their speed 1 stat. It could be something where if there's webs on my side of the field, I spin the webs, my opponent hits me, they lose their speed stat, and then I can come in and sweep potentially with something else. To disable that, there is Effect Spore, which could be nice defensively as well. Regen is going to be the key one, though, just for the health, but Effect Spore and Cotton Down are actually 2 pretty decent moves. It's just not the greatest mon in the world. So, sticking with the I need hazard removal, we went with Noctowl. Noctowl actually got some decent buffs. It got Nasty Plot this gen. It got Hurricane this gen, so Noctowl can sneakily be pretty good when it needs to, potentially be a setup sweeper. It is here to defog as its main priority. Fills in a speed tier a little bit, but yeah, I grabbed Noctowl just for the shits and giggles, because I wanted defog, and now I have 2 hazard removal options. So, cool. And last but not least, I drafted Flareon. This mon gives me a fire immunity as well as a sneakily good offensive mon under Sticky Webs. If you have not checked out APA Indigo's run with Flareon, Webs plus Toxic plus Guts just goes in hard sometimes. It's a Wish Passer, which was something that is really nice for my team, so I can heal up. I can pass into Caparajah if it gets worn down. Hydreigon gets worn down. Gengar gets worn down. I mean, Gengar just dies, but it gives me the Wish Pass. It gives me... Flareon's sneakily good. I learned that this in Indigo. I've learned how sneakily good it can be, so I'm excited to use Flareon. So that is actually it for the recap. Now, hang with me here. If you're still watching, hang with me, because I have a thing to show you, and I'm going to pause while I get it set up. Okay, thank you for hanging with me. I had to get this adjusted. I have transferred I've transferred the mons up already to Sword and Shield, and I just wanted to show off that I'm legitimately not breeding, or I'm not, legitimately not genning these mons. I am running with mons that I own. Flareon here from Fire Red, Kanto region, can validate it. It's got the Alola, Hoenn, Kalos, Champion Ribbon, which is from Emerald Fire Red Gen 3, the Sinnoh Champ, the Earth Ribbon, which is for beating Mount Battle in in XD/Coliseum, and the Legend Ribbon for beating Red in Soul Silver. So, Flareon from the Kanto region, Ninetales from the Alola region, Alola Champion, Simeon from the Alola region, Champion, and it is the Defiant one, so it's got the Pokebank medal. Noctowl from Heart Gold Soul Silver, one of the few true shiny Pokemon that I've ever found. I've got my shiny Noctowl from the Johto region. It's got that sweet Alola Champion, Hoenn Champion, Kalos, Sinnoh, and Legend Ribbon for beating Red. Such a good boy. One of my few shinies that I've ever caught in the game. You'll notice everything's in a Pokeball too, because I am that type of person that I catch everything in a Pokeball. Gengar, all the way from the Kanto region. Again, you can see Alola, Hoenn, Kalos, Champion Ribbon, Sinnoh Champ, Living Legend from beating Red, and the Earth Ribbon for the 100x victories. I'm going to call Gengar the champion. I need to take you off. And Gengar the champion. Hydreigon from Unova. And these are not, like, in any particular, like, set or anything. I will be minting these things. I have so many... I've been grinding BP for mints and everything else. So, good God, I've wasted so much time trying to do that. But I don't want to gen. I want to do this legit. I want to be legit here on this, other than Copperajah, because I haven't caught Copperajah yet. Milotic, all the way from Hoenn. Again, there's the Gen 3 ribbon. This thing has come across space and time to be here. Orbeetle. So this Orbeetle is the first ever Orbeetle I caught. Yes, it's G-Maxable, but I will never be able to click G-Max. No ribbons yet. I need to take that through the league and get the Alola ribbon. Rhyperior, all the way from Sinnoh. Good Sinnoh boy. And that's a Rickety that I caught. Okay. So yeah, I don't have Eldegoss yet. I am going hunting for those here before the season starts. Because this is being recorded before the season has started. So I will be hunting down Eldergosses. I think that's the only mon I'm missing is Eldegoss. And then I have to gen Copperages. So I will be hunting Gossifleurs for a while. So, but yeah, that's going to be the draft recap. Let me know down below what you guys think. Are you excited for me making my first entry into Wi-Fi? And do you think that... Who do you think is going to be the kill leader? And do you think we'll make playoffs as our first Wi-Fi experience? I made my first playoffs in my first ever league, so we'll see if that trend continues. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Check out the links in the description down below. See you guys next time.